morning, everyone. Hello, Twitch. Hello, TikTok. So for those of you that haven't met me yet, my name is Rebecca. I'm an interior designer. I live in Montana and I work with clients all over the country doing plans for new construction, remodels, additions, and some decorating projects as well. So that's who I am. That's what I do. I own Revision Custom Home Design. So yeah, we're gonna hop right on in. So it is Friday afternoon, and I am finally getting started on work today. Um, what I am doing here, let me flip over here this camera. All right, cool. So up on the screen here, you can see this is a house that I've been working on here recently for a local client. This is the main floor of the house, and we've got garage coming in, entrance over here, and then this is the house. So we're working on kind of a hilly lot. We do have a basement on this house, which the client is still kind of debating back and forth. They're an older couple, so they don't really want a basement necessarily, but for resale and everything, their kids are thinking they might want it. So we're going to have a basement on the house, at least for this version of it. I met with the client earlier this week, and we have a series of red line changes to make to the plan. So nothing huge, but that's what I've got up here on the screen. So I've already saved my original first draft because you never know when people change their mind and want to go back to what they first thought. And we're going to go ahead and start making some of these changes. So right off the bat, we want to extend this office craft room over here. So I'm going to move this deck to be aligned with that. We're actually going to get rid of this door, or this window, I'm sorry. And we're going to move this door over here. Because we actually want that to be almost like the front door of the house. Hello, hello. And this is kind of an interesting one because so when you come in from the garage here, you can enter from the garage into this mudroom. We do want an exterior entrance on this mudroom with this door right here. So there's a sidewalk that runs along the side of this garage. But really that door will kind of be like the utility door, and really the front door will be this one right here. So we'll have to find a way to make either the deck look appropriate, like define that, hey, this is the front door, or maybe we'll decide that it doesn't make sense to have this door here because we have the access to the garage here. So that's something we'll discuss down the road. But for now, we do have this is the first door, and then this will be technically the front door. And then we're going to get rid of this one. And we're actually going to drag this out. So now it's showing that because we have the roof on this house, which is up here. And we're going to obviously change this. So we're going to take this and hold on a second. I'm going to delete that. And then we're going to add here up. And we need to kind of find the middle ground between these two, like that. So now we'll go out here to our 3D view and reconnect this roof. So obviously you can see that's not the exact right roof plane. We want to match the pitch of this one, which is a 4. So we're going to come over here to this one. I'm going to make this a 4. Okay. Then we want to connect these two. So we get our center line where we want, and then we'll bring this on back. And we're going to drag this to there. So now we also need to kind of drag that over. We're going to connect those, and we'll connect those. And then if we look back down this way, we also need to get our colors right. So that is now what that looks like. We need to extend that deck out. So why is that not? Interesting. I bet it's because, there we go. All right. When in doubt, check the foundation. Okay. And that got our foundation where we want it. Still have this weird deck, non-deck. Interesting. Sometimes if you just move stuff around, it fixes it, and sometimes it does not. So we're just going to leave that for right now. Although I do want to move this post. Okay. So then in 3D, you can see that works. And although we're going to have this exterior deck covered fully like this, on the interior, we're still leaving the vault line centered on the living room, not on this office craft room. So if we zoom in here, you'll see that that vault line did not change. And that's the look that we want here. Okay, so that is red line change number 1. All right, hello, welcome. Drop your questions in the comments if you've got any. All right. So next up, in the corner. So we're going to adjust a little bit here. We had talked about, instead of doing a couple of these 3-foot wide windows, we're actually going to do some larger windows. So I'm going to do, say, 6-foot windows, right, like that. And part of the reason we want to do that is we want the view, because they have this really cool pond on the property. And then we also want to move this in a little bit, because over in this corner we want to do a fireplace. So let's okay, so move each of those in, and then let's see here, corner fireplace. That's just kind of a nice simple one. And this will be a gas insert, so we don't need a ton of space for it. We do need a little bit more than we have, so let's, okay, and okay. So now those windows are still centered. We still have nice big windows. We back out. That's the look that we have from the outside. I think that still works, even though it's not 100% symmetrical. You got, you know, a window here that's not the same. I think it still works because it's what they need for the inside, and we're not where this house is situated, they don't really have any neighbors that are going to see this side, so it's not like that has to be really symmetrical. So here you can see we've got, this will be kind of the glass door going into the main, that's kind of the front door. So probably what I'll end up doing is taking this door and changing it to more of like a slab door or a panel door, something like that. So it's kind of a little more nondescript, and people will see this as the front. With that being the case, I might also drag out this sort of porch area. And this is another thing that we're going to work out with the contractor, is that because this is an older couple, we don't want any stairs on this main level. So we've got the sidewalk coming on over here. And at some point, it will transition from sidewalk to deck. And we just need to figure out where that transition will be. So I'm actually kind of thinking, maybe I'll make this a little bit wider. And really, truly, that's probably where the transition to the deck will be. So I'm going to actually change this here, right here. Delete this, delete. I'm going to pull this sidewalk. Like that. And then I'm going to adjust this arrow to kind of point more there. Because you want this to be red as the front door. So there we go. So I think that's going to help. And then probably what we'll do also is maybe around like here. I kind of make that sidewalk. So then if we look at that from the outside, that's more what that looks like. I don't know why. I'll have to. Yeah, there's not a deck under there. So anyway, that is that. All right. So that gets us from the front of the garage over here. They have the option of going in the mudroom door, but then that makes this door a little bit more visible as the front entrance. So now we had, let's see here. Oh, okay. In the garage, we're actually wanting to put a dividing wall here. And I'm going to change that. That doesn't have siding on it, so I need to change that to an interior 6. And we'll make that 12'6". So that way you've still got a lot of space to pull your vehicle in, park your car. There's space here at the back for storage. And then we said we were going to do a hinged door separating, we'll probably do it about here. Flip that hinge, because then this half of the garage is actually shop. So there we go. And then they'll be able to do built-in tool benches along the back and the perimeter there, but then still have the garage door if they ever need to pull in a vehicle to work on it, or like keep the lawnmower in here. But then this one right here becomes the primary garage. We also wanted to do, and see, this is where I'm thinking we might, or I might suggest getting rid of this one door here, because if we've got a door here and a door here, it just gets a little bit cluttered. And again, it kind of distracts from this being the front door. So honestly, I think I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to get rid of that for now. We'll see what they say. But that's going to be my recommendation. We did decide that this extra freezer is going to move into the garage. I'm just going to kind of set that over here. And I want to make this door a 3-foot door. Anytime you have like exterior doors, I recommend 3-foot. And then especially in this house as well, with it being, again, kind of harping back on that older couple thing, a lot of the interior doors are 3-foot as well, because you got to think ahead just in case in the future you may or may not need a walker, a wheelchair, something like that. We're not specifically designing for ADA, but it definitely doesn't hurt. So here we've got a 3.0 door coming in from the garage, and then a 3.0 door connecting into the kitchen dining. Now that is actually going to be the next space that we are updating. Well, actually, let's finish the mudroom first. We're going to scooch this on over. As we said, we were going to make the closet bigger. And okay, we'll make that actually, let's do that as a bifold. There we go. Okay, scooch that over. And then this, actually getting rid of that one door will really help, because, oh, if we went ahead of sink. I apologize, I'm just kind of scattered today. Put a single basin sink here, because I want to have space to wash their hands when they come in before they enter the house. I had drawn out this bench and coat hooks here. For right now, because I don't want to lose this, I'm going to flip this around to the opposite wall, because we are going to be flipping the kitchen and dining room. Okay. And I think that worked. Okay. So then that's what that looks like. Awesome. We need to fix the color here. There we go. So now we've got the main door. This is like the front door of the house, and this is the door going into the garage. So we're talking about that. And then we'll probably have a retaining wall kind of coming off this direction. But we'll figure that part out later. That's more for the contractor to figure out. So hello, if you're in the room, drop a comment, let me know you're here. Feel free to ask any questions. Okay, so mudroom entry, we did that. We made the broom closet bigger. We added a little sink. Now we're going to flip-flop the kitchen and the dining. But if you're looking at this, you can probably already see that's going to cause a few little changes because we have the door going in here to the master suite, and we can't cover that up. And we'll need to adjust the location of this door. So right now I'm going to just move it out of the way all the way down there. I'm going to take this chunk of cabinetry and move it over here. I'm going to move the dining room table momentarily. Oops. That was we'll make that a full block again. Just for the moment, we'll stick it over here. That definitely makes sense to be over here. And I'm not a huge fan of corner cabinets unless you really need them, just because they quite often end up having a lot of wasted space. So I actually kind of like the idea of having that wall be its own thing, and then having the fridge and maybe like some pantry cabinet over here to flank it. We did want the island pretty much as is. So I'm going to just kind of scooch this wall over a ways. Actually, I'm going to delete that for right now. Scoot that. I'm going to grab my dimension lines. And we already know we liked this distance from here to there. So now we're just looking at this distance over here. Grab all of this. And we're going to make it 4'6" for now. So then you've got your island back there, or your island out here, your wall of cabinets there with your range. You got the sink. I don't like the sink and the fridge back to back like this. And we've got some extra space. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to scoot this down a little bit, like that. And I'm actually going to copy this pantry cabinet to flank that. And then it's 1'6". 8. Okay. Move that on down. I need to get the text to move. Okay. And then we're going to make this cabinet here bigger. So now we have accomplished a few things here. We have offset our sink and our fridge so that you're not back to back, butt to butt with someone who's helping you in the kitchen. We've got the island a good distance here. We kept the island the same distance here. And then now, grab our wall tool, pull this line on over. This side becomes dining room. And we move our dining table there. Okay. Got some space, kind of like that, because we want to make sure this is our primary traffic to get down to the basement and or this secondary bedroom. So we don't need that dining room table centered in what is called the dining room. The main reason I need to leave that where it is because when I go to do my elevations later, if I have a wall dividing that, then it makes it harder for me to get my elevations to line up. Or well, things get cut off in the elevation. So let's actually scoot that over just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So now if we look at this room of the house, oh, and then we need to make sure to go back, since we renamed our dining room, we need to go back and double check that it has a, too far out, a vaulted ceiling. So structure, no flat ceiling over this room. And if we go back to 3D view, now that is gone. So, all right, so we have shuffled. We have built this bank of cabinetry here. We've moved our island over. We have our beautiful wall with the range and microwave. This goes into the mudroom. Actually, there you go. So you can see there's our mudroom, laundry, there's coats and hats and everything, and then there's that. I feel like where did that go? There was an end cap there, but oh well. So now here we go. We've got our house. This is the main area. And when we did that, because we were able to keep this the way that it is, we didn't even have to touch the shape and size and location of that pantry at all, which was kind of something that was a little bit worrisome to me when I first was talking with the client when they were requesting me to make that change. So now I'm going to check my notes here and see what other couple changes we had. We got rid of the door where we didn't need it. We extended the office and craft room. Hello, if you're here. I'm working on making revisions to this house plan. All right. Extended that, double check. Okay, so I need to double check the width of these stairs. Because I need to go down to the main floor, to the basement level. These are 39 inches. I probably should make it just an extra couple inches and do a full 3'6" instead. So I think I've got enough space to steal if I have to. So let's go down. Let's move this wall over 3 inches and we'll move this wall over 3 inches. We're going to adjust our stairs to 42. And then the only problem is that makes, okay, I need to move this 3 inches. Oops. Okay, the wall has to move 1, 2, 3. We need to align this with the edge of the landing. Which is 3'6". See, this is why staircases in Chief sometimes drive me absolutely batty, because start disconnecting things, trying to make things fit the way they should. Okay, but that says 3'3" and I need 3'6". Okay, and then this we bring up to here. Okay, we do not want an exterior door here. We talked about that. Oh, so that's going to the outside wall. Anyway, okay. Got it, got it. Then we go up a level, and then we've got to make sure this lines up. So we added 3 inches. So we have to move that door 3 inches. Okay, that lines up. And we got to move this 3 inches. And that 3 inches. Okay. So that gets us where we need there. We still technically have enough clearance to get in here. Although, it's too tight. There we go. That makes that a little better. So, because we don't want this to be too tight. I mean, again, we've got to think ahead to walkers and wheelchairs, and doing a bed that's 10.5 by 14 is still plenty big enough. Okay. So I think that's it on the main floor. Oh, we did one last thing. My client does not care about a second vanity sink. So we are just adding, there we go. They'll have a vanity sink, but then they want lots of countertop space, which I totally agree with them. Although I think I am going to flip this to the other side. So let's make this 9 inches. Or no, let's do 12. I like 12. There we go. That feels a little more like they have enough elbow room to work at the sink. You know, got some elbow room when you're brushing your teeth or washing your face, but then you still have some uninterrupted countertop space here. So that's the master bath. Okay, checking my notes. All right, so then downstairs, we got rid of, there was a walkout door here that I had put in, but we decided we didn't want that. What we are going to do instead, or in addition to this, we're going to actually put a garage door down here, which sounds a little weird, but I think it actually makes a lot of sense. And then, I don't know, we'll throw a couple windows in. So let's check some measurements here. We'll do 4 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot. There we go. Because we're either going to do a garage door into the basement. I think the family has like a Corvette or something, so they can park that down there in the off season. Or in the future, if and when the younger generation of this family moves into this house, this basement can be converted into, say, like a family room space, and then you got this garage door that they can open when the weather's nice and have this family room open to the outdoors. It'll be at ground level, it'll overlook the pond, and that'll be kind of cool. And then we're just going to put a note back here, utility room. And we'll leave that up to the contractor to figure out, you know, where it makes the most sense for that. But utility room is in the basement. So I think that's it. We'll have that. And then if we go out here to the exterior view, there you can see we've got that. We'll adjust the colors so that everything looks good. And then really quick, I'm noticing there's a wood floor in the basement, so we don't want that. We're gonna concrete floor down here. All right. So that kind of gets us to where we want to be with the changes on this house. Let's actually make this a little more symmetrical here. Get this door centered. There we go. So then that's what that will look like. There'll be a retaining wall over here for the landscaping, and so all of this will be bermed up. This will be carved out, and then over here on this end, again, we'll kind of have this berm here in the middle, where the door and possibly the windows are, but then up here it'll be bermed up again. And then when you come off this deck, we'll do a series of landscaped kind of, not steps, but like maybe a curvy sloping sidewalk coming down, like going out and down to meet ground level because they have an existing driveway on the property that's roughly where this garage is. So there's a garage over here that exists, and then it kind of slopes down to this level. So anyway, that is the changes that I needed to make to this house. And there's just one little change here on the roof that's like, ugh, okay. Let me do this. The peak doesn't quite line up. It kind of goes just a little beyond what I wanted. Do that. Then we'll check that in plan view and make sure that okay, nope, almost. You want that to essentially be square right here. And then if we look at that, that is correct. At least correct enough for my plans. When they do the truss design, they'll decide that for sure, but voila, I think that is that. Yay, does anyone have any questions about, you're not even here. All right, any questions about the design? So we've got that done. We'll go back down here to the main floor. And again, landscaping to be determined. And right about here is where we were thinking retaining wall. So question mark. And arrow. Retaining wall. Okay. Hello, welcome to my stream. I am working on some revisions, some red line changes for a client of mine on this house that we're working on. And now really all I have left to do is take some screenshots of this so that I can send this over to my client again and they can see what the plan looks like. So just grabbing this. Okay, and then we want, let's see, we want to get a shot of the basement. And then, okay, so we made those changes. That's actually a really big, we kind of made, we got rid of a door there. That works really well. I might just leave that. I mean, we could turn the broom closet sideways, but I don't know that I want to make it more cluttered. I don't know. Let's see here. Hold on. So if we do that. Pull this over like that. No, we don't want that. We want this to go back over here. And we'll pop that closet door there. I'm going to make that a 6-foot door. Okay. Oh, wait, actually, we make it... I don't like dead corners, but make it a 48-inch door. Shrink it this way. We can add in a little bit more cabinetry here. There we go. All right. Um, so then that gives them a little bit more storage space. They've still got their broom closet. The mudroom still is not crowded. I think I like that better than what I had before. So I'm going to show them that option as well. Okay. And again, I'm just kind of taking a quick screenshot to send to my client. All right. So that should do it. Perfect. Oh, yay, there's more people here all of a sudden. Sweet. All right. So I'm just wrapping up this plan here, and then I'm going to quick come out here to the outside. I want to get a few shots of the exterior so that my client can see what this looks like. Oh, and we had talked about, if I remember correctly, kitchen and dining. We had talked about some kind of like a lattice or something going along this edge here. So I want to draw that in because we wanted some extra shade. So let's see here. Framing tools. Beam. I want to run a beam from here to here. Framing ceiling beams. Yes, we'll turn that on. Okay. So we could run that across. I have a feeling we'll definitely need a few more posts. So if we've got a 38-foot span, we're looking at about 4 posts. So I need to, if I delete this one, I want to get nice even spacing. I can use my multiple drag tool. I have one. I need a total of 4, so I'm adding 3. I'm going to drag this all the way down to the corner. So that gets me 4 posts. That doesn't interfere with the view much, if at all. It actually doesn't block those windows at all, which is great. And then I do want to turn off the post labels. I don't like that in this particular view. Hello, welcome to my stream. Say hi, let me know you're here. I want to add in some lattice. And I'm trying to figure out, hold on. Sometimes there's things in the menu, the library that you can. Oh, there we go. I spelled it wrong. Okay. Okay. That's that. So I think what I need to do is use my polyline solid tool to draw and then I need to make that like say 36. I gotta see it and then I can adjust it. Okay. So hello, drop a comment. Let me know if you're curious about what I'm working on here. Happy to answer any questions. Okay, I'm going to create a break up here at the peak. Drag this on down. Same thing on this side. And then I should be able to, yay! Okay, so that is one option for what we can do here. Why is that not squared up? There we go. So that's a little bit shaded, which is nice. We've got the post framing, all that running across. Let's actually lift this up a little bit. And I'm actually going to is that the beam or that's a railing? I don't want the railing to move. I want that to move. So I'm just moving these posts in. There we go. So I think that is kind of the look we're going for, because we want some shade. Because this deck does face to the west. And so later in the afternoon, evening, especially in the summer, this will be something that we want shade. And then the only thing we'll have to figure out, we can have these, if we run a big beam underneath here, we won't need to connect this post all the way to the ground. We'll be able to figure out if we do like a retaining wall over here and then over here to kind of flank that. Sorry. So now I'm not an engineer, but we do the retaining wall here, the retaining wall here. We should be able to do a span enough here to be able to get into that door. So not too worried about that. All right, so I think, there we go. So I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit here. I'm gonna paint that lattice white. I think that'll look better. Ooh, very nice. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll look good. All right, so we're gonna show this. Okay. And I'm just gonna grab a screenshot from this angle. Then I'm gonna rotate us and we'll show a screenshot from this side. Can't see my buttons. I've got mics and cameras and stuff everywhere. So just getting back into all this live streaming, and Twitch is new, or Twitch is something I haven't done for a couple years. I've got that one running on the other screen. And then TikTok, I only hit my 1,000 followers here a few weeks ago, so I'm going live here for the first time on that. So I don't think I need to show, let's see, there's really nothing else on the exterior to show. I do want to show the changes to the interior. So we've got, I'm going to close this door. Okay. So we're going to show the new kitchen. And then we'll come over here by what is now the front door. There we go. And then we'll come back over here to the kitchen. Oh, and we've got some cabinets here. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo-doo. My wall jumped out further than it needed to be. Yeah, I need the end cap. There we go. There, I like that view. And we'll zoom forward just a little ways and show there. Okay. So really, that's all I have to do to be able to send this off to my client. Did I update the floor plan view after I changed that room closet? Let me check. Yes, I did. Okay. So I was going to show them both options. Close that. Perfect. All right, so that's all I need to do that. So hey, anyone that's here in the room, let me flip my camera around here. All right, hello. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll probably hop into the very next project here in just a minute. So does anyone have any questions on drafting, design, custom homes, anything like that that I can answer? For those of you that have never watched before, my name is Rebecca. I am an interior designer technically, but really I'm a custom home designer. So I draw houses from scratch for new construction, remodels, additions, all of that. I work with clients, of course, locally here in Montana, but I also work with clients all over the country. Probably half of my clientele I've never met face to face and only see on Zoom. So, you know, being in a virtual format like this actually is pretty comfortable because that's how I do most of my work these days. So, yeah, I'd love to hear from you if you've got any questions about custom home design or interior design or drafting or any of that. So the software that I use here, the screen share that I was showing, that is Chief Architect, and it's a program I've been using off and on since one of my very first employers out of college. It's way back forever ago. But yeah, when I started out on my own, it was the software that I was the most comfortable with versus, say, AutoCAD or something. So Chief Architect has really great 3D capabilities. Absolutely love it. I'm actually really pushing myself right now. My husband's really pushing me to learn more of the rendering aspects of it because I can do like the basic 3D views are easy and changing materials, but getting the really good photorealistic renders, that is definitely a skill of its own. So I'm working on trying to learn more of that. Not talking fast enough. I don't know my Mountain Dew me yet. Thank you for liking the live, Jocelyn. Thank you. So yeah, please drop your comments, drop your questions. I'd love to answer them. I'm also streaming this over here on Twitch, so if anyone's on Twitch, you can find me there. I've got a YouTube channel, you can find me there. I'm on all the socials, of course. Okay, so I'm hitting save on my plan that I was working on. I'll email that back over to my client here shortly. Okay, so there's that one. Next up, I should probably check my email super quick. And make sure. Okay. Original footprint, dining, living, front porch. Okay. So I'm going to really quick, I'm gonna flip over. I'm done with that plan. I'm gonna open up different plan. And we're gonna make a quick little change on this one. Okay, so I already, oh, there we go. Shrunk that one back. Got it. Okay, so hello. Do I like Mexicans? I guess. Hi. I don't have anything against them. Kind of an odd question. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera back because I'm gonna show you what I am working on again here. So now, this is another floor plan that I'm working on. This is a project not local to me in Montana, but out in Pennsylvania, I think. So anyway, and this one we're pretty much done with what we've needed to work out. We've just been playing with a couple differences front to back, a couple of the size things, partly because of zoning and setbacks, and of course budget is always the big thing. So the last change that I need to make on this one, I think we made most of our changes yesterday. We had shrunk the depth by 2 feet, but we actually, now that we're looking at it and stuff, we're thinking we're actually just going to push for a zoning variance, and we're going to push this back out 2 feet. So, oh, not everything wanted to move. And okay, so this and that. Oh, this and that. Okay, so that pushes us back. Why is it not going all the way? Okay, and then we need to go down to the foundation. This also has to move. And here we can just hit 5 foot. So we've got our foundation pushed back forward. We've got our porch and our main floor pushed forward. And now this is because of a roof line. So we need to go up here. And hold on. Move that forward, which we got. Okay. So we gotta move dimension lines, make sure things are still able to be read. Oh, and then this. Nope, we're not going to do that. Sometimes you can do it that way. We are going to do it this way. Make it bigger. So 2, 4, 3. Drag this out. Corner, and there we go. So that is an exterior piece. If we look at the 3D, that was just a little piece of trim that I had out here. And I need to extend my roof line now. So I'll make that 10. We'll drag that. So it's supposed to have an 18-inch overhang. And then I think that's the lower one. Let's double check. So yes, our porch did push out the way we wanted it to. And those posts are just a smidgen too tall. So we're going to drop those down a couple inches. Okay. And I'm not a structural person, so I'm not worried about the exact height on those. I'm just trying to make the outside look correct. And then the client's contractor engineer, they'll all look back at this and clean that up. So, oops. Looks like I'm cutting off part of a edge, so I don't want to. What's that? Okay, so I needed that little end piece filled in. So there we go, I got that. All right, so I think that was the biggest change. We just had to push that 2 feet back forward. And then the only thing that will be impacted by that, up on the second floor, I think we had shifted some windows back, so maybe we'll push this 2 feet forward again. And then down below that, we also have this window that moved. And then we'll need to recenter except that doesn't put us centered between the windows. There we go. This we can scooch over, make use of the space. That we can do there. And then we just need to stretch these built-in bookcases to meet each other. And I believe then that puts us kind of centered. All right, that and why is that? So, and then that, there we go. Get that lined up. Perfect. Oops, there we go. So that is our living room. We've got some built-ins, plenty of space, and then the builder is working with an engineer to figure out if we can get rid of this post. We'll do that. We don't need that again. And then for this client, okay, so we upped the square footage to 871. Okay, I just need to take a screenshot of this. Okay. And save. And then go up a floor. Do the same thing, get a screenshot. And then the last thing that this particular client needed is a window and door schedule. So real quick, we'll come to our tool here, door schedule. Zoom out and down at the bottom, window schedule. Okay, so door and window schedule is essentially a shopping list. It is not an installation list, it is a shopping list that tells you exactly what windows and doors you need for this project. So we ended up with 17 doors. So I'm going to screenshot this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I want to make it legible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's the first half. And then the second half. Okay, so that should be legible for the client. We'll close that. The builder's just using that to, again, we're creating a shopping list so that the client can go, or the builder can go and put his numbers together to get an estimate to the client so they can say, yes, go ahead. So this is still considered preliminary design phase. Once the client says, yes, this is the plan, my contractor said the numbers are a go, then what I'll do is I will put together the scaled construction documents, and that is what the contractor will actually need to build. Why is it? There we go. To actually build the plan. So that's going to have your floor plan, your elevations, exterior and interior. It'll have the window and door schedule. It'll have the cabinet lists. It'll have the electrical plan. It'll have the foundation and the framing plan. So that's the technical stuff that I put together after the design phase is done. But what I'm showing you here today, that's the design phase. This is still just all of the, push and pull on the walls, make sure the size is right, make sure the whole house looks good. And so that one is ready to go. So now that is the second one that I'll be able to email off to my client today. Next up, and I guess, shoot, I can't work on this other one because it's on my laptop. So I will move on to this one. Aha, there we go. So let me close this or save this. And then I'm going to pull up that plan. So I'm just powering through. It's 1:30. I've been on here for about an hour and I've already gotten 2 projects out of the way for the day. So yay. Anyway, for those of you that are just joining in the live, wave hi, say hi, comment, question, let me know what you're thinking. If you have questions about anything that I'm doing. For those of you that are new here, my name is Rebecca. I am an interior designer technically, but I am a custom home designer. So I do the plans all the way up to the point of an engineer taking over. So I will come up with the shape and the size that the house needs to be. I'll come up with the layout, how all the rooms need to fit together, where all the doors and windows go, and then it just goes off to the engineer for, what beams, what joists, what size of concrete footings, that kind of stuff. That's really the only part that I don't have a hand in. And so I do all of that custom home design for clients, both here in Montana, where I live, as well as for clients around the country. I've got projects going right now in, let's see here, Montana, Pennsylvania, Montana, Texas, Washington, Montana, South Carolina, yeah, so kind of all over the place. So just because I'm in Montana does not mean I cannot design your house anywhere in the country. If you are thinking of building, if you want to build, if you are remodeling, I can draw your plans and I would love to work with you. One of my favorite parts about working with clients all over the country is the variety of projects. You get in one area and you start to see those trends and consistencies and things that are the same on every single project. And it's nice to have a variety of clients because it gives me a variety of projects that I get to work on. So I've got, one that's like a Southern colonial style. I've got one that's um, kind of a two-story small neighborhood. I've got 1,500 square foot entry level homes, main floor basement. I've got quite a few barn dominiums. I've got a kitchen remodel. So I mean, there's a lot of variety to the projects that I'm working on, and it's a lot of fun. So I absolutely love my job. I can talk pretty much forever about my job. So ask me questions because I want to share. I want to tell you what's going on. Um, so yeah. Anyway, um, and if you're here, there we go. I'm still new to this whole live thing, checking out all the different buttons. So, yay! If you want to give me a gummy bear, I'll do a happy dance here a little bit later. So, but please comment. Really, that's what I want. That's the whole reason I want to do these lives is because I want to have that engagement with an audience and really share what it is that I do. So, I'm gonna flip this camera back around and, aha, there we go. So now this is a house that I didn't do very much of the design. The client actually came to me on this one with this pretty well drawn out on graph paper to the point where, with the exception of a couple dimensions where this angle is, this house was pretty much designed. He actually already purchased the entire kitchen package, so I didn't even have to design that. I just had to pop in what he already had purchased. So, 1 second here. Oops, sorry. All right. Oops. Sorry. All right, there we go. I'm back. Apologize for that. So, hello, welcome. So this project right here, like I said, the client pretty much drew it all up himself, sent me the graph paper, and I am inputting it into Chief Architect. So, as of right now, this house looks like this because I don't have a roof on it. And the reason I don't have a roof on it is because this house is kind of set into an area that has a little bit of a hillside to it. So this mudroom and garage are actually lower. So that's the part that I need to be fixing right now. And so I need to figure out the best way to do this. So the garage is easy because it is 4 foot below the main house. So I can go to the structure tab. My floor is -48. My ceiling will be 9 foot. We're going to hit OK on that. Now here, the floor is, oops, not that one, this one, -48. But we need to leave the ceiling alone because we're connecting to the main house. So if we look back at the outside here, you can see now what that did is it left this at the same height as the house, and this part dropped down, but the floor level is consistent across. So what we need to do here now, and this is a little bit tricky, is so we have this door that goes into the kitchen. We have the staircase that goes down with the landing halfway up and then the staircase. But what really it is this staircase comes up halfway, meets this floor, and then it goes up the rest of the way to that. So there's actually like a little landing up here. So what we need to do is connect here to here and get rid of that. Okay, so that gets us closer to where we need to be. And then I think we need to do a doorway right here. Try that. And we want to get rid of the railing on that edge. So now you can see that landing is not exactly in the right spot. We probably want to go down a step. So, and we actually have to go down to the basement level to do that. So we're going to come over, that, and then do that. And we need to do it one more time. So we need to get, because typically your rise is about 6 3/4, 6 1/8. Okay, so that gets the landing where we want, and then we just have to shift this doorway opening like that. Voila! Yay. So that gets us to where there at the bottom of the stairs. Now we have this. Except you can see that kind of blocks that staircase. So what we actually want to do here, we're just going to carry this across and delete that. We look back at the plan now. Okay, that's closer. But we need to lift that up. And I think down here, hold on. See, this is gonna get a little tricky, but maybe not tricky. I'm just gonna drag that on down. Okay. So that gets the inside there. So we have the staircase that goes down. And then really, truly, I don't think there is anything below this. I think if we look down at the foundation level, really, I believe what we do here is we would actually run a foundation wall like that. And then there is no space here. This is a nothing. And so if we look at this, okay, that looks correct. So we come down, and then there's the door into the basement here. So we come up. There's that landing. Okay, and then, let's see here. So then we come up a level, and we want, there's not supposed to be siding on that wall. So let's look here. Within this room, we want the wall finish to be color neutral. We don't want that siding finish anywhere. Okay. And we'll make sure that our finish here lines up. And then we still need a landing here at the top of the stairs. So then we go down, use the stair tool, and create our landing. So that looks to be correct. So then there'll be a step up. There's the exterior door. I'm going to actually let's match. So that's what we've got. So we've got that. So we do have this little space out here that is the mudroom, essentially. So it's kind of a drop zone in between the garage and the house. But what's not in the plan, when we have this mudroom, is an actual connection to the house. Which I don't think I missed on the plan. I think it was something that he didn't add in. So we're going to put that, let's see, we've got a door to the outside here. I'm going to do the door there. And so that way you have access into the garage. No, it doesn't need to be one with a window. This will be like a slab door or panel door. Okay. The one to the outside has the window, and then again, this one here will be a panel door. All right, hello, thank you for being in my live. So then if I zoom on out here, I can get rid of that. you can see here I've got that goes down, and in reality this staircase won't be quite as long. It just is going to depend on where the grade is. So if we look out here at the outside, honestly, this is probably going to be about half. And I believe that I locked the top height on this one. No, we're going to lock the top. And I'm going to drag it back to about there, I'm guessing. But I did not lock the top, so. Okay. Top tread. Don't want automatic. I want that to be at 0. And I want my riser height to be 7. I don't want automatic treads. I want, okay, and then my tread depth to be 11. So that should be, aha. There we go. Yay. So now we have a staircase that goes down about 4 feet, roughly, maybe just a smidgen less, and then that connects over to the driveway that's going to be here. So really now all that's left for me to do is put a roof on this. And I think I've got it mostly figured out in my head what I'm doing here. So for the main part of the house, this should be pretty easy. Actually, you know what I'm going to do first? Okay, let's look here. We have to keep that ceiling height where it is. Over here on this side, it doesn't really matter. The first thing I'm going to do, first I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to build my roof using the auto roof tool. So I'm going to build, I'm going to auto rebuild. I'm going to drop my pitch to 6. And as of right now, I don't have anything set as gable walls. I only have hip walls. So because of that 45-degree bay window thing in the front, I think this is probably going to be the best looking roof, and then I'll make some changes as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, which is fine. And then it's telling me that this is the recommended roof line. And from what I can see, that's actually pretty close to what I would have done, actually. Yeah, I think that is what I would pretty much do. And really the only thing that I am not a huge fan of is this hip on the end. But if I get rid of that, then I would want to get rid of this one. I don't know if the client really wants gable ends anywhere. So I'm not sure. I kind of feel like I should leave this and just show him this as the option, and then say if we want to, we can gable this end, we can gable right here, and we can gable this one. So that's kind of my thoughts, is that we could do those. So there we go. That's our exterior. And really, there's a few changes here. That doesn't need to go down that far. This doesn't need to go down that far. So that wall doesn't. I'm just kind of going around here and granted, like I said before, I'm not an engineer, so I'm not the one that's going to be, say, specifying these things. That is for an engineer to decide how deep these footings need to go, given the structure above and the grade, which we know we've got a little bit of a grade change over here. We're coming down. So probably this will end up being actually a little bit higher than that. This will probably end up being more like that. But we'll leave it for now because like I said, I'm not an engineer, and this at least gives us a decent idea of how this is going to fit in. And then I'm just going to quick go around and touch up a few things with the siding. And that was really, I think, the only spot. So, hello, thank you for being here on my live. I think that might be that. So, and then we just want to touch up one other thing on the edge of this. Cool. All right. And got that. Okay. So then there'll be like a retaining wall or something over here, so that can be part of a walkout. Got deck. That is the house. I would probably recommend a window over here just for looks, but totally optional. So, got it. So I am going to, again, like with all of my plans, do a screenshot. Because then this is what I send to the client. Go up like this. These screenshots here are kind of how I get my client's approval to go ahead with the next step, which is the construction documents. So, shot at the back. And the shot. Okay, so there's that. Saved that. I believe I'd already sent him a copy of the floor plan. So I really don't need to take that picture again, but I am going to, because one thing that I like to do is I like to have my roof planes all up on the same, on the attic level. Oh, why is it? Sometimes it's a pain in the butt, but display on floor above. Okay. And so I'm just moving these up. Okay, is that my whole roof? Yes, it is. Okay, awesome. Close that. All right, so hello if you're here. Hi. See, I'm getting through a lot of things today. I've got 3 plans pretty much taken care of today. So I'll be able to send that email off to the client, get his confirmation on the roof planes. And then there's that. And yeah, I think that works. Oh, I'll take the picture of this. Okay. Yay. So again, we'll hit save, and then that's it for that plan. Waiting back from that client, and yeah, that might be about it. I've got one other one I can kind of jump into here in a little bit. So anyway, let me flip this camera around. All right, hi. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off my Twitch stream. Thank you so much for watching if you're over there. See you later on YouTube.